Good morning, good morning, good morning. You know what today is? It's Monday Morning Chats with Sack, and Sack is me. I hope that you guys had a great weekend. I had a really good weekend. Yesterday I got a chance to celebrate my mother, so took my mother out, and we just had a really good time. And we realized we did not take any pictures. So she texted me like, Sakina, I had a great time, but we didn't take pictures. But we definitely enjoyed each other's time. And it was just really good to, connect with my mom. And for me, what I told my mother, because she doesn't live in the same state as me, I was like, as long as I'm still breathing, I will make it my duty to spend time with you wherever you're at. If I had the mental capacity to do so, I'm going to do so. And so I did that. And she's the type where, hey, you don't have to drive where I'm at. I'm like, no, I am. And I did. So it didn't matter about my drive. It was about the quality time that I spent with my mom. So later in this chat, I will talk about quality time. And Saturday, I went to a gala, and it was the Washington Bar Association Law Day. This is an annual gala that they have every year, and they give out awards, scholarships to law students. And this is another way to acknowledge some legal pioneers that are making contributions in the world, or someone that's a non-attorney. You may have someone that's getting recognized that has a PhD, but it's someone that's making some type of contributions, or just some type of like social engineer. And during this gala, we acknowledge them, and we acknowledge the board for the year. This is like the event to like conclude, the main event to conclude the bar year. In addition to like the award ceremony where we had the new board get sworn in. But this was great because the last time we had this event in person was 2019. And when I was in law school, when I would come home during the breaks, I will go to Law Day. And so it feels good from being a law student to now a licensed attorney attending these events. And I was just so happy to see everyone. Even though I didn't see as many people as I like, we had limited tickets, but it was just great to see the people that were there. And it was a great time. It was a really great time. So I enjoyed that. But this entire week, this past week was a great week. Tuesday, I kept thinking it was Monday, but last Tuesday, my colleagues, they celebrated me for leaving my fellowship to start off on my new venture at my new position that I would start in July. And for me, I told myself, hey, I'm not going to cry. I'm not going to do that. But I did. And the words that they said was just filled with warmth and kindness. And they gave me this. So anytime there's a departing colleague, they give you what's called a word cloud. So I'll just share some of the words that they have to describe me. So it's respected. So there's a saying that I say. There's a statement that I say when I'm teaching students. This is like when we're going over their cases. My question is, did you have fun? Because even though law school is challenging, I want my students to have fun. And I try my best to make it fun. I try to make lawyering fun because I teach them how to practice law. I'm dedicated, passion for teaching. Lord knows I love teaching. So all my colleagues know that this is everything to me. Fierce, a leader, outgoing, intellectual, innovator, patient. I am very patient, like very patient. They said fashionable, elegant, courageous, engaging, warm-hearted, energetic. I tell my students all the time, I am always on go. And I wake up around 5:30 every morning, and I have a lot of energy. And for the last almost 2 months, I didn't have coffee. So just imagine if I do have coffee. I'm on go. On go. Fabulous, professional, curious. I'm a very curious person. And so if I'm not sure about something and it's on my mind, I'm thinking about it, I'll research it. That's what allows me to read all the time. So if there's something that I hear on the news or something that someone says, I will go research to see if it's true. That's just who I am. And so those are some of the words that they use to describe me, and they create a word cloud. So this is really beautiful. And me, my love language is words of affirmation. So me getting that is just beautiful. Like, I'll keep that forever. And I have a card. They gave me a card, as well as my colleague that I co-teach with got me wine. Now, if you know me, I love wine. And so I love red wine, to be exact. And she got me 4 bottles of wine. And that represented the semesters, the academic semesters that I taught. I taught 4 semesters, which is equivalent to 2 years. I'm also taught in the summertime. Well, I pretty much supervised cases throughout the summertime, but I taught for 2 years at University of Baltimore. So it just felt really good to be acknowledged. Like, sometimes, you know, for me, I'm so used to just working, and like, I never knew the impact that I had on other people. Like, I just came to do my job, and I don't think I was oblivious to it, but it was just a matter of I didn't know. And my colleagues, they were just saying so much about me. So my assistant dean of clinics, she hosted the event. She said her words, and then she opened the floor for everyone. And one of my colleagues, she started to cry. And she was like, Sakina, you know, I'm just so proud of you. And she cried. I cried. And it was just a beautiful thing. And I think what made it even more special was that my former professor was there. And I went to University of Baltimore to get my master's in tax. And my professor, Fred Brown, he was there to celebrate me. And I cried when I spoke about him, because they allowed me to have the floor. And I just told everyone, you know, thank you so much. You know, thank you for pouring into me. And I've learned from all of my colleagues while being there. But to have your professor that supported you in your graduate program, now in your career, is an amazing thing. Like, after I graduated with my master's, Professor Brown, he wrote every letter of recommendation for me for all the jobs I had subsequent after graduate school. Wrote all my letters of recommendations. He even wrote the letter of recommendation for the fellowship that I have now. He even wrote the letter of recommendation for the job that I'm about to have. And I cried and said, you know, you have always been in my corner. We've known each other for almost 10 years. I said, you have always been in my corner. And I just want to say thank you for all your support. And now that this summertime, I had to really be focused on writing and reading. I have like a list of books that I'm reading this summer. So if you want to know the books that I'm reading, let me know. I'll send you the list. And he just been so supportive. He's like, look, I'm going to feel slighted if you don't send me a draft of your article. Now, my first draft may be like 40 or 50 pages. He doesn't care. He's willing to help. And I appreciate that. So now it's just a matter of, wow. And I'm feeling so welcomed by my new colleagues at my new law school that I will go to. And I'll be hanging out with them this week. But I feel good. I'm really happy. And I'm just excited about what's to come. And so for this chat, if I had to label this, it'll be a few things. One, the imposter syndrome is real, right? And so it's this idea of, you know, are you good enough, right? And one of my colleagues, when she spoke, she's older than me, and we teach together, and she made a comment how, you know, she's new at teaching, so she's trying to learn all the different ways to try to find her niche. And one of the things that I would tell her is that do what works best for you, right? And don't compare yourself to the other professors here, because the way you teach will be different than them. The way I teach will be different than you. Like, for me, I'm very energetic. I'm very creative. I create games for my students, whether it was at the law school setting or even when I taught community college courses. I am a creative person. I can create a game, especially when it comes to learning. Anything that comes to learning, I want to figure out, when I teach a student, and there's a group of students, within the first week, second week, I can gauge where the students are at. Like, you know, mentally, educational wise, like I can grasp that. Like I really pay attention. And that's one of the things, that's one of the skills I say that I had. Like I really, really pay attention. I may not say much, but I'll really pay attention, and I'll pay attention to the things that you don't say. And I think that comes from me. I was a communication studies minor in college. So I've learned those skills, and I incorporate that now into my personal life and also my professional life. So I really pay attention to the students, and I meet them where they're at. And I incorporate games, so that way I truly believe that when you're teaching and you make it fun, it makes it easier for the students to grasp the idea, no matter how complicated it is. And so that is something that I have done. And my colleague, she would tell me that, hey, she will compare herself to other colleagues to see, what she needs to do to be like them. And one of my colleagues, when they spoke about me, they said, I like how you are unapologetically you. Like you are you. I am me. Like I don't come in trying to figure out what professor I'm going to be like. I could only be Professor Tillman. That's it. I can't be anybody else. And so it goes for you if you're listening to this. Let's say that whatever profession that you're in, be you. Be you. You can look at someone that's in a different position. Maybe they're higher up and you admire how they do something. You can incorporate those skills and make it your own. The one thing that I've learned was when I first started teaching, I was scared. I was scared teaching law students because, one, most of my students are older than me. And I'm like, would they listen to me? Would they try to question if I'm smart? Because I'm really smart. But would they question that? Because sometimes, when you have these different professors, people want to know, okay, what law school did you go to? I went to a lower tier law school. And then I had to stop thinking about all the things that can go wrong, or I had to stop thinking about, okay, the labels that I was putting on myself, because I kept asking myself, okay, am I good enough? I didn't go to a top tier law school, but at the same time, even though I didn't go there, the law is still the law. I've learned the same thing as someone that went to Yale or someone that went to Harvard. They just had a higher tuition bill than me. And their school was just ranked higher. However, when I went to law school, my professors went to Yale. They went to Harvard. They went to the top tier law school. So I got a very good law school education, a great law school education. And I'm a licensed attorney. So I took a bar too, and I passed just like my colleagues. And so once I've learned that, I just stopped saying, hey, I took the labels off and said, hey, no, I can do this. Even though I didn't go to this type of school, hey, I can do this. And hey, most importantly, I am made for this. And so whatever profession that you're in, know that you are made for it. Don't compare yourself to your other colleagues. Like just know that you are really made for it. But you have to really believe it. You have to own it. When I walk into my law school, I don't try to be like anybody else except myself. I walk in with my head up high, and my heels are definitely high. And I don't care. I don't care what nobody had to say. I like to dress up. People, in any job that I'm at, I dress up for myself, and it feels good. I like my high heels. I don't care if it's summer. I don't care if it's winter. I'm always showing up. I never know what the next move may be, right? And so people judge you based on what you look like sometimes, how you are put together. And I am well put together. And so, yeah, I don't care about how every other professor dress. Some professors, they come and wear sneakers and khakis. That's just not my thing. I hate khakis. Like, I hate them. Like, I'll wear khakis if I go play golf. But other than that, I don't like khakis. That's just not my thing. It reminds me of uniform. And I had to wear a uniform in high school. So I don't like it. So I don't wear it. So, yeah, let that imposter syndrome go and just know that, like, be you. It's great being you. Like, it is great. And you should know that, and you should own it. The second thing, so about 2 weeks ago, I played, like, mediator. I don't know why. My friends and and my family members, they think that, you know, I'm a great listener and I am patient and I'm very understanding. So when there's like difficult conversations, they'll say, Sakina, you should handle this because I can't do it. Or if I'm working with a group of people, it's always, you know what? I know I could talk to Sakina about this. She'll listen. And I guess maybe I have like a sign on my head like, hey, tell me everything. Tell me your life story because I'm listening. I will, but I think I got that sign on. And so I was with a friend and her partner, and they came out to visit me. My girlfriend had to pick up something. And she's like, Sakina, what are you about to do? I was like, well, I mean, it's a Friday. I don't like working. I typically do a half day on Friday sometime, or just, it's like I'm done everything. And I was like, you know, it's like 3 o'clock. I don't have anything to do. And she was like, you want to go out to eat with us? I was like, why not? Why not? And so, of course, I still stuck to my meal plan. I got salmon and I got rice. And I couldn't eat the whole thing. Like, I ate a portion, like, according to, like, what I would eat in my meal plan. But I didn't have any butter. Like, the waitress was like, you don't want our butter? I was like, ma'am, no. Just grill it, no butter, I'm fine. And so while we're sitting there, my friend's partner, I told her that I was going to talk about this. So I'm going to send her this so she can listen to it. So we're sitting there and we're just talking about life and relationships, just life in general. Because this friend of mine, oh my God, we've known each other for like 18 years, right? Half of my life. And we were just talking about life. We were talking about marriage. Like, you know, we were just talking about all these things and the things that we want in our career. And, you know, just a great, healthy, like a healthy conversation. And I respect her conversations because she's a therapist. So we were both on this tip of just being healthy and having healthy conversations and just being positive. So I love having conversations with her. And as we're talking about relationships, her partner like chimed in. Like, you know, I know y'all talking, but can I chime in? I was like, oh my God, like, yes, come on. I was like, this is a safe space. I was like, you can speak your piece. It's okay. I'm not going to judge you. You have the floor. I'm not going to interrupt you. So he was talking. And he was saying some stuff to us. And then he said, yeah, you know, because she doesn't spend time with me. And I was like, okay, did I like put myself in the middle? Because I don't want to be in nobody's relationship. Like, that ain't none of my, anybody's relationship is none of my business. Like, it's none of my business. I drink my water, praise God before all things. And I mind my business. I don't worry about nobody else stuff, what they got going on. If you want to have a conversation with me, you want me to listen, oh, I'll be a listening ear. But I do not get nobody's business. I don't worry about what's going on. I focus on the things that's in front of me and the things that bother me and my loved ones. I don't mind nobody's business. Like, I just don't. And I was like, okay. I was like, so do you want us to say something or you just want us to listen? He was like, no, you can say something. I was like, okay. I was like, well, I told my girlfriend, I was like, is this something that you want to say? And she was like, he acts like I don't make time. And I do, I just be busy. And I was like, okay, now me, I love the love languages. Like, I read up on them all the time. And I practice my love languages on myself. And if I'm with someone, I would make sure that I pour into their love language, because even though I have my own, it doesn't mean that it's theirs as well, right? So I was talking to him, and I was like, okay, so let's break this down, okay? Let's like take it into like little pieces at a time. Let's talk about this. And I said, so you said that she's not spending quality time with you. I said, so what does quality time mean to you? Because maybe there's a misunderstanding. Okay, so let's talk about that. What is quality? He's like, I want to see her. I said, okay. All right, so you want to see her. I said, I'm not trying to be smart. I said, but you can accomplish that by a FaceTime. If you have iPhone or if you have Android, you could do like a Google Duo. I said, if you want to see somebody, you can do that. You can use technology. It's amazing. Or you could do like, you know, the social media platforms. You can see this person And he was like, well, not just like that. I said, okay, well, what do you mean? Let's talk about it. So you don't want to do a FaceTime. Okay. I'm going to chill with her. I said, oh, got it. So you want to be in her presence, right? You want to be around her, right? Yes, Akita, you get it. I said, okay. So I said, well, did you ask her, what does it mean for her to be busy? Because she works, she has a business. What did you ever ask her? Like, do you think maybe there's a misunderstanding? Maybe she's not shutting you out or not trying to give you time. You got to ask her what her schedule looks like, right? He's like, I didn't even think about it like that. I said, okay. I said, we're coming together. Because I said, listen, next thing you know, hey, I just want to know when I'm getting invited to the wedding. That's what I want, right? And so as I'm listening to her, and she said, hey, I got this going on. And what I've noticed is that this person, their schedules are different, right? And as she's explaining it, like, but I still want to see you. And I was like, okay, wait a minute. Do I need to get out of this conversation? Like, no, you good. And I said, well, ask her what day throughout the week is not as much work. She doesn't have as much. Ask her that, right? And figure out if you guys can come together to figure out what will work. I said, now, does quality time mean that you have to spend time with each other every single day, right? And I said, I'm asking that because some people assume that. Some people assume that, hey, if it's quality time, I need to see you every single day. I had this one person a while ago, and I was like, look, I'm going to have to cut this off. Look, you have your business. You can move whenever you want, but I have a full-time job. And I know some people oh, you're working on the plantation, you're working for the master. I am, because I love to teach. And this person told me, I can get up and go because I'm a business owner. I said, that's awesome. And made a comment to me well, I want someone that is a business owner too, so they can get up and go whenever they want to. I said, well, if that is what you want, I don't want to stop you. I don't foresee myself being 100% entrepreneur because my career path is to teach in a law school. And that's where I'm at. I have a business too, but I'm not going to work my business full time. It's going to work full time for itself. But I said, I'm not doing that 100%. But I said, if that's what you want, I'm not for you. And I don't want to waste your time. And I was honest. Don't want to waste your time. So yeah, guess the person got it. I don't know. But I told her, I said, well, I think that when they were going back and forth about the time, and quality time, honestly, that's my love language. That's number one. Well, no, actually, words of affirmation is, and then quality time. But it's like when you do the love language score, you get out of 12 points. So words of affirmation is tied with quality time, 11 out of 12. But I score higher in words of affirmation first, and then quality time. Quality time, honestly, and I read about this. I read articles about communication and love languages and all this other stuff and healthy relationships. I read articles about that. And the one thing about quality time is not about how much. It's not about the quantity. It's about what are you doing during the time being spent, right? What are you doing? Are you really engaging in this person? Are you giving them your undivided attention, right? Or is this every time you're together, there's always an argument? Who wants that? If it's an argument, no one doesn't want that, right? And so you got to ask yourself, what does quality time look like for you? Quality time for me, this is what quality time look like for me. When quality time is not every day. It's not every day. But quality time is, what are we doing during the time that we're together? Are we engaging in a good conversation? I want to know, hey, how are you mentally today? If you go to therapy, how's your therapy how's therapy been helping for you? What improvements have been made? Because I can tell you about me. Like, hey, I go to therapy. My therapist, I'll go back to her when I start my new job, so she could just see how I like it. But our therapy conversations are really good, and I acknowledge things. So it's just a matter of just honestly now just really having a conversation with her. Like, yeah, girl, you won't believe this. Like, seriously. Those are the conversations I have with my therapist. Now, in January of 2021, I was on the edge. These were different conversations. But just really acknowledging what bothers me and being expressive about it. But yeah, like they're in therapy, like, hey, you know, how's therapy been helping you? Like, are you still, and I'm like, hey, you don't have to tell me everything, but, you know, is it helping you? How do you feel? Do you feel better about yourself? Do you feel better without whatever the situation you're going through that means you go to therapy? Like, are you feeling better about it? Like, what was something amazing that you did this week? Or, you know, if I know that you accomplished something, I want to acknowledge that. But I'm giving you my undivided attention. And we could do something. Like me, I love going out to different restaurants. However, because I've been on this whole, I'm not going to even say just weight loss journey, but just pretty much staying healthy, I don't go out to dinner as much. And so instead, I'd rather make a meal together. I don't eat beef, don't eat pork, so nah. You can make that, but not me. So making dinner together. I like to work out. We could work out together. And then quality time, this is not just for a romantic relationship, it's also platonic. So working out together. If you're not a weightlifter, hey, it's getting warm out. I like to jog. Hey, get your sneakers on, get your hoodie on, and let's go to this trail. That's what me and one of my ex-boyfriends used to do. We'll work out together, like go jogging. During the time that we were together, I wasn't in the greatest shape, but he was in the military, so he had all this endurance. I didn't have none of that at all, like none. But yeah, like doing something together. Or I like Netflix. Looking at a Netflix movie. Not just like this Netflix and chill, like making dinner and looking at Netflix. Then when it's football, oh my God, you gotta watch the football. Like, I watch it from beginning, the first game to the end game. And different things. And just, you know, be creative. Like, I'm a very creative person. Like, I will figure out different type of things to have fun. Speaking of creativity, I'm actually trying to, and this is another way to spend quality time. It's some of my girlfriends I haven't seen in a while. So I'm going to host a brunch. I don't know when, but I want to host a brunch for some of my close girlfriends for us to get together and just, I know I usually do like the December dinner where we go around talking about our accomplishments and we pray over each other and we just encourage each other. So if you talk about the things that you want to accomplish, things that you're afraid of, things you have already accomplished, during this dinner, we encourage you. So I want to do something like that again, but I want to do like a brunch style. And this time, we're going to write out some affirmations. Like, I know how to write out affirmations. Love affirmations. That's what I want to do. But quality time is about the quality. It could be 30 minutes. It can be 40 minutes. It could be an hour. What are you doing in that time spent, right? What are you doing? And so, once I was talking to them, I said, well, hey, figure out what you guys want to do in that time. Figure out what her schedule is. Figure out what his schedule is. And figure it out. Because it's not about giving somebody your leftover time. I tell people, you want to give me your leftover time, don't give me it at all. But can you make time, right? That's important. Can you make time? And I truly believe that you can if you're willing to do so. If you're willing to do so. But quality time is not about like every single day. Now for me, there is a day where I have to decompress. I like my me time. Like, I'm really big on that. And maybe because I'm an introvert, so after I'm hanging out with a group of friends, I like to come home and recharge. It's so funny because most times I go out, I'll leave around like 12 or 1 o'clock. And my friend's like, why are you leaving so early? Because after hanging out with so many people, I like to come home and just relax. they're like, oh, you must be going somewhere afterwards. I'm like, no, I'm actually going home to recharge because I've been around you crazy people. Like, I gotta recharge, and I'll come home, go into my ladies' den. Yes, I have a ladies' den in this bomb, and I'll look at Netflix or some type of show that I was watching until I fall asleep. That is like my thing. That's been my thing for a very, very, very long time. So it's not about the quantity. It's about the quality. It's about the quality. And it's not about giving somebody your leftover time. It's about making time. And only you know how to do that. And so that's all I have. I hope that, again, the first thing is like the imposter syndrome. Like, I hope that you don't have that, and just know like you are good enough. Like, you are good enough just the way you are. Never let somebody tell you differently. And two, quality time. Like, if that is your love language, make sure you spend quality time with yourself. Speaking of that, I'm going to the spa. I need to make an appointment for the spa this week, and I hope they have any openings. But make time for yourself. And people that you care about, definitely make time. When you make time for someone, that shows them that you care about them. That shows them that they are appreciated. That shows them that you are thinking of them. So make time. I hope that you guys have a great Monday. I hope that you guys have a great week. And just never forget how amazing you really are. You are really amazing. And I know I say this in mostly all my videos, but you'd be surprised how many people don't believe that they are amazing, don't believe that they are great. And I'm just here to tell you that you are. But I just hope that you really believe it within your heart, and know that, and own it, and walk in that. That's all I have. Happy Monday, guys, and take care.